call sign Sierra 53 Tango. Okay, they told me to give another 60 seconds. Zbog pis... Tamo, sorry. Okay. Znači mogu tamo ispred. Tu ispred, da, tu. Aha, okay. Dobro, dobro. I ovo mi treba, ne? Again? I think we should start. All right, good morning again. My name is Dane, Sierra 53 Tango, unknown call sign. Most probably you know guys better me from Alpha 65 Bravo Bravo or Sierra Tango 2 Tango, Echo 778 Delta November. I'm one of those which my late friend Slavko 7DX said, you have more call signs than QSOs. Anyway, right now I'm operating Oscar Delta 5 Kilo uniform in these days, human mode only. The non-human one is the owner of the call sign, which is Eli. All right, the team gave me the task to present the Lampedusa 160 thingy. Though I only been once in 160 setup, but I have been before in Lampedusa a few times, and I was part of the early one. So let's see if I get the things right. Lampedusa itself, why, where, and how. Very simple. It's about 80 kilometers in front of Libya. So the question goes, what? Where? It's that square thingy down there on the map. And then a little bit enlarged, we have three basically islands, Linosa, Lampedusa, and Lampione. Lampione is non-inhabited. Linosa, I think, it has some people on it, and actually ferry stops there. And Lampedusa, it's obviously the largest out of the three. Why Lampedusa? Several facts. It's still Italy, and as such is European Union. So as such, you don't have a customs. It's again, it's but it does belong under African Italy. Let me put it this way. So it is a good multiplier. Let me put it this way, and the points and everything else that you know how to better than I do. It's relatively easy to get there. There's a caveat on that to be discussed. Yeah. And fair chance to have a good weather in January, where we normally do the 160 operation, yeah? Again, to be discussed. How to get there, version 1. Why version 1? With all these years and attempts of getting there and doing the things, we learn certain things down the road, no? The version 1 is to go by road all the way down through lovely Italy. And for you who knows Italy fairly well, you know when you come to Napoli, you just came to half of the way. And Napoli is not the closest place to come to from our side of the world. And then you have another ferry, which is the black line there. You have to take the ferry. And that would be for those people who are not NASH, as per per description before, user satisfaction rate to get to Lampedusa, it's far, far, far away. Let's pull it this way, mild translation of that. Okay? Okay, version 2. Let me add on the version 1, of course, the drive itself, it's fun, but you know, the Italian police and carabinieri and the over-length pipes that the weird guys are driving with the van around are not too I would say popular with them, so we paid quite a few fines because the pipes were a bit too long sticking out of the van or above on the roof rack. Version 2, which is a little bit smarter version, we go to Livorno. We take a ferry to Sicily, and we drive across the Sicily in a pretty much rally mode, so to catch up the ferry, because the timing of the ferries it's really short. And then we get another ferry to Lampedusa. User satisfaction rate, better, but still quite far. Yeah. And then the third, or the best version of it, it's actually in last few years, it became quite available and reachable. It's actually flying. Yeah. So we do fly, we go with the car to the Trieste, and we might fly directly to Sicily, and then we take Danish company, funny enough, to fly to Lampedusa from Sicily, called DUB, if I remember right. Yeah. Or we fly via Trieste, Rome, Palermo thingy. User satisfaction rate, that's it. Don't change it. So that's pretty much how to get there. Now, why and how, a bit of a short history on the ham radio side of a IG9. IG9 is not new one. There was quite a few attempts, you can see from previous years, from a different call signs, different teams. Those are all from the website of CQWW. And the results and everything else. So it's not a new thingy. But there is, to continue the history on us, let's call it the Slovenian side, or yeah, mostly the Slovenian teams members. The first attempt, 2013, India Golf 9 Yankee, worked quite well. There's quite a few people here, members who were at that time in the team, like Drago and Renato and a few more. It was an eye-opener. It's not a bad. It's actually not a bad place to be and to do it. And this was basically this was the worldwide, not 160, but the normal worldwide. Yeah. Again, discussion on the trip. The ferry from Porto Empedocle to Lampedusa, it's let's call it this way. It's rather irregular than irregular due to the weather. Yeah, due to the weather, and the first year everything was smooth. They drive down there, they were all happy about it, and then they were camping for what, 2 days? 2 days in Porto Empedocle doing nothing, waiting for weather to get sorted. It was an international team. It was a good attempt. A lot of gear and everything else. So that was the 2013. Beautiful, sunny October. All under one tent. Were very nice. Second attempt, 2014. We all said, okay, that was good. Let's do better. And the idea was to go multi from down there. And everything was hunky-dory till Wednesday. And then Wednesday came. It was Storm Gonzalo, which came to Europe and basically did the mess. So myself personally, I came on Thursday morning and I saw this. This, after everything and all the attempt and all this. So there was a bit of a hard feeling, I could say. It was a bit of a morale, was kind of a, should I stay or should we go? I would say I managed to lift the morale back, put the team together. I said, guys, let's do it anyway. Let's do what we can. So the decision was made immediately. Let's go multi-single, low power, fix what we can, and we did. And on basically. In the next 2 days, we became completely operational, as whatever it was. I mean, there's a lot of, it was all over writing, but the green part was to me really part of it, that it actually did mean a lot, because the team was international. The team was a lot of effort, money, as you can imagine, flying from all over the world together, and then this. But anyway, we hit the bottom, but we climb out. Yeah. And funny enough, we actually won that year. We were first in a multi-single low power at that moment. Lesson learned, respect the weather. And this is the TBD from the weather part. Lampedusa itself, it's beautiful Mediterranean island, but it does have a wind always, number one. Two, if any storm or anything comes around Mediterranean, Lampedusa will be hit. There's no question. And again, great team, positive vibes, and we did it. Okay, let's go to 160. This is pretty much how it looks in a circle about 3,000 kilometers from the Lampedusa. Lampedusa is definitely a complete portable. An expedition, and a field day in one, everything together. Everything gets packed, nothing stays in Lampedusa. I would say there are, 10 bamboo sticks, which are hidden somewhere in Lampedusa. We don't take them up and down, and we pray to God to meet them next year. Rest, everything is packed. QTH itself, the micro location, it's called Punta Alamo on Oski, on the top of the thingy. Very nice view. This is how the operating site looked like. It's a used water tank for the Lampedusa. It's a building, it's a concrete building. Inside there are pumps and the water thingy, whatever, but it's not operational anymore. So no power, no nothing. It's absolutely ground zero. And this is how it looks like. We used to operate from inside, from the bunker, we call it. But nowadays we operate from a van, which is actually used for the gear and everything else in between. TX, not much of a science, a large stick, let's call it this way. But it is a science to put it up. It's not easy. It's a good fun of 34 meters and everything else in between. And again, in a normal scenario, we did it quite a few times with Sierra 5-1 Victor location, as you know it, and I probably know the guy, Silvo, in his place, but there's no wind. Here, there is wind. So it's another level. This, just in a few things on that. There's no sound, but you can see everything is ready. It's January, it's about 8 degrees, and it's blowing. The guy sitting down there in the corner, this is the guy sitting here in the corner. Yeah, this is the view, this is the clear, this is Europe, America side. Basically States, Europe, and we're going further down to 30 degrees this side. This is the view from the cliff. The cliff, it's about 60 meters above the sea, just beyond the cliff. Vertical, we had quite a few attempts of improving vertical from full fiber to fiber aluminum to 222. We still haven't figured out the final one or the ultimate one. Of course, because we have to bring everything else with us. You can see there's a lot of cables, a lot of radials, long run cables. So people ask us, do we work in a water company, or what we do with the big one running around? That's Silvo. RX, we figured out a few times, we tried quite a few things, but we figured out that the SAL actually works quite well. So far, so good, I would say. We normally put it on the water reservoir itself. You can see this is RX, and then down there is a TX. And quite a few beverages. Lucky enough, there's no inhabitants on the top. The village itself, or the town, is about 1.5 kilometers down. So there's no many people coming up. And the ones they do, now and then, they steal anything you leave there. Like a angle grinder this year, it disappeared. So if you don't, so what we do when we install this, we always leave somebody up there to be in present, sleeps there or whatever, because it's amazingly how fast it disappears. with no one present. Beverages, yeah. Beverage antenna, USA side, Japan side, and this is the maximum we can get in the length, because then it's cliff, and the other side then already hits the first houses down there. We tried, last year we tried the first time the beverages on the ground. Still in work in process, let me put it this way. The shack itself, I said we first operated from bunker. That was how there it was in bunker. And later on we figured out the bunker is A2. It's cold, it's definitely cold because it's a concrete. And it's humid and so on. So we said we'll do the van thingy, which is much better. But it's bloody uncomfortable bench. That I can tell you. Though I operate the least. Drago or Renato can tell you much more about that. Or pizza or... All right, there's not much of a setup there. It's two stations simultaneous run, and then of course inbound. We had privilege of last year having a father and son, which you heard about yesterday, operating, and it was a good highlight and a good mix. Local support, yeah. As I said, there's nothing up there. There's a few ships, and now and then the environmental guy comes around and looks bit strangely what we do, and we have the Carabinieri coming, and at the beginning a little bit difficult to deal with, but then we found a solution. The solution is called Roberto. He's the only ham who lives there and works there, India Golf 9, India Tango Oscar. Yeah, he's a great guy, fantastic. In his life, he's one of the captains of, let's call it search and rescue or Coast Guard, Italian Coast Guard, and he's the guy who picks up whatever floats from Africa to this side. Difficult job, I can tell you, very difficult. That's one of the things that I want to tell you about Lampedusa. It's also known about, of course, influx of the refugees and everything. And itself, the town, it has a boat graveyard. It's not a nice scene to see. Those are the boats which came empty to Lampedusa. Anyway, Roberto is down there. He's absolutely brilliant in liaising with the government and the governor and the major of the Lampedusa, Carabinieri, and everything else in between. So always smooth and absolutely helpful guy down there. Logistics, we do live about 2 kilometers from the site down. There are bungalows, which is, Lampedusa is very, very touristic place during the season, of course, but off the season, the only tourists are pretty much we, especially in January, yeah. We live in the bungalows, organized well. There we put a little spider beam, or sometimes we put the vertical or so, depends on the thingy. Of course, cooking, all this, whatever. The coordination meeting with apple juice, yeah. Different tasks, all of us, we do pretty much everything. So there's no hierarchy here, there's no boss. Get now a little bit more on a 160. One of the years, this is how it looks like, packing and so on. You can see questions, you know, chainsaw, do we have it, do we need it, and so on. The photo here is late Slavko S57DX. That's at his location at where he was operating. First attempt. After a few years of not being in Lampedusa, we said, let's do 160. That was dream of Slavko and me. We discussed this quite a bit. And then said, and Drago as well, let's do it. And they went. And this is what happened. Everything was hunky-dory till the wind came. And that was a very fresh, good start of 160 in that year, 2019. Went there, drive there, set up everything, pack whatever left over, and went home. That's it. That was the year. This is how this started. You see, pizza, and we didn't know. We had a fuel with us, we had a generator, we had everything else. Now we do this there differently. And then 2020, the stubbornness and, god damn it, weather kicked back. They went there, they did it right, and it worked. Result, was clear. Serious good result. A little bit same 21 and 2, the corona was worse than a wind, so nobody went there. 23, they went again, and again, good result. 24, we went there. As the previous colleague said, it was international team. I put intentionally my call sign here from Dubai just to put the flower into that we are international team. But anyway, it worked well, but it was a sad story. We were all supposed to go, Slavko was supposed to go, and a week before, his doctor said, no, you're not going, you will die. And it was a tough call for us. We still went, and I did personally convince Slavko to give us the call sign, because he never did this, and we operated on his behalf from Lampedusa. Won, came home, saw the guy. In about 3 weeks, he died and left us. There was a bit of a, I would bring it up, there was a bit of an issue. We figured out all these years, and especially that year, that Italy has a bit of an issue on 160. And the issue is, where is the frequency that you can operate, if you know? They don't have the full band. Yeah, they have from what, 30 to 50, if I remember right, yeah? So we had quite a few issues with people complaining, and honestly, we didn't know. I figured it out later, and we apologize. I spoke with the director of the contest and everything, and we fixed the next year thingy. But funny enough, in that log in 2024, there was, 80 Italians in the log, so they all operated out of the thingy, but nobody said anything. Anyway, so that was this. That was Slavko in the last few days that we, and then year after, the same year we put a little board on the top, which the on Ostia, just to remember the guy. 2025, this year, again, as I said, new faces in town, in the team, sorry. Hajošević and the international team went well, did well again. So, yeah, this is the summary of 160 only in the last few years, a part of course, 19, which was not there. What's next? Just before I said to the next, this is the photo of the Rabbit Beach, and this is one of the 10 most beautiful beaches in the world, apparently, by whatever listing it is. They have turtles, nestles, and all this blah blah. But yeah, that's also Lampedusa, just other side of it. What's next? Yeah, we didn't know till last few weeks, and last few weeks we decided, and this is what is next. This January, coming January, we're going again. This will be the call sign. Team will be headed by Pezzo, and we will all listen, as always, to him. And try to do exactly the same what we did, with a few modifications, and pray for the weather, of course. Weather is the key. All this has a financial impact. We are all normal people, working, retired, whatever, so we always look for donations around, and we are always welcoming the donations. So if anybody or whatever, donation guy is Renato. Renato is our finance guy, and there is it's actually a PayPal account as well. We will share the details on the relevant pages when it comes to. That's it. I'm looking at you, but I'm not going to ask you to. All right, that's it. Any questions? Anything? Yeah, of course, of course, of course. Top load, yeah.
Why did you use 34 meter to send something which is 25, could be 25 without maybe 0.1 dB?
Because we think that the piece of a dB we lose between the 27 and 34 meters is...
Yeah, the question was why the length of the thingy, whatever, and then the answer was, for us, the point of dB, whatever, it's not really. Well, first of all, it's a clear space. The question was why the sal is in the bunker. It's a clear space, it's a nice space, and it fits exactly what it was built for, number one. Number two, that's number one, I would say, because the rest, everything is really a cliff, stone. It's really difficult to walk around. The task of doing the beverages is not fun, because we ruined the working shoes and everything, because the stones are really sharp. It's really sharp. So it's as easy as it gets, let me put it this way.
And last but not least, beverage versus sal.
Beverage versus sal. Drago.
So 50-50.
50.
I would say 50-50. Sometimes sal is better, sometimes the beverage is better. But in general, everything what you can hear on the beverage, you can hear as well on sal. And with the sal, you can turn all 360 degrees around.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the question about sal versus, sorry, you didn't hear. Sal versus, question was sal versus the beverages. And then we said it's about 50-50. And the difference is also that what you do here in the beverages, we normally also see here in sal, but the difference is sal, you can rotate the directions. Yeah, beverages are fixed, that's pretty much, yeah. It's just, let me put it this way, it's another tick in case of. But it's a lot of struggle, and just to add to the beverages, there was a lot of problems how to set it up and how they leave it because it's of the wind and all this. You know, it has to stay for at least 4 days. We figured out that the easiest way is using bamboo sticks. We figured out that what we do is we drill the rocks, we put a little metal piece inside, and then we put the bamboo stick on it. And when we finish, we pick up everything, and the metal and everything else. That's how we do. Yes?
Did you use any DC coil bleeding?
Again?
Did you use any DC bleeding coil?
Do we use any DC bleeding coil on the vertical? I don't think so. No, nothing. No, static so far. Let me put it this way. If we come to the element of static, antenna, I think it doesn't stay up. It's already gone because it's so obvious when it comes to the storm. Forget it. It most probably wind will already take it before down. Yes. What is the latest fiber length of the fiberglass part only? Its aluminum part is what? Is about 7 meters? Two elements.
About 6 meters.
Yeah, aluminum is about 6 meters, and then the rest is then. Yes. Yeah.
There is no way to get Italian coal?
Aha, good question. There is no way on Italian coals itself. Let me put it this way, because after that controversy with frequencies, I did research on that too, and now let me tell you something what happened last year. Italian call signs, they normally give only to the people who live there, like Roberto. He has the India Golf call sign. That's the only one. There's I think police station has a call sign as well, but that's a different story. Now, Italy, when we did the contesting before, you can see it was India Oscar 9 Yankee and India Golf 9 Yankee. So the denomination and the prefix, it's gone, that it's dedicated to the proper island itself. Yeah. And now, last year, Roberto was asking for a special call sign. It's valid only for 1 year, and they gave him India Papa 9 Papa. So it's completely gone, the thingy, that India Golf is an African. And that creates quite a bit of an issue in logging, because people normally would log it, and it would log it as a Sicily, and not as a Zone 33 double multiplier. And that's a bit of an issue, and that's where the story is. Even Italians who want to go and operate there, because we had few, in our history we saw few, they don't get a special. They need to use their own Bara IG9. Any other questions? No? Thank you very much, guys.